Markets wake up with a joint to the implications of COVID-19. Could market turn out the economic disruption? When America, the hub of the global capital, is this far into an economic expansion and a bull market, investors fear two conflicting impulses. They hope that the good times will last, so they are reluctant to pour their money out. They also worry the party may suddenly end. This late cycle midset reacts to the occasional growth scares about trade wars or corporate debt or some other upset. It tends not to take them seriously for long. 美国是全世界资本的中心，虽然现在正处于牛市，但是投资者心情复杂，进退两难。第一个是他们怕错掉这个牛市，第二呢，他们也同时担心这将是成为一个牛熊的转折点。Corona-19 is a grave threat to the market polls. News from the Italy of the biggest coronavirus outbreak outside Asia led to a 3.4% decline in the S&P 500 index of American stocks on February 24th, the biggest one day fall for 2 years. The roots encompass global stock markets were down sharply from high reached earlier in February. As the economy went praise, the market remained nervy. In the face of such uncertainty, more days like Monday are to be accepted. 武汉肺炎对全球市场的威胁是很严重的。随着意大利成为这个武汉肺炎的亚洲之外的第一个爆发国，导致了周一 S&P 500指数下跌了 3.4%， 这是自2年以来最大的跌幅。同时，是否会有更大跌幅，我们还未知。Investor has sensibly tried to calculate which assets are most exposed to the shock, couple economic bellwether plummet. The worst-hit stocks were of firms that rely on far-flung supply chains, such as car makers, or are directly affected by restrictions on travel, such as airline, or are most exposed to China-led global slowdown, such as oil firms. Investors scrambled for safe assets. Gold reached a 7-year high. The dollar rallied. The yield on 10-year Treasury bonds fell to an all-time low of 1.29% on February 27th. 投资者很敏感地意识到这一点，他们都在寻找安全资产。这个铜已经一直在下跌，同时呢，旅游相关的一些，比如像这个航空业也是受到最大的打击。同时呢，由于中国领导的全球经济的变得缓慢，对这个油价也开始下跌，投资者都在找一些安全的资产，金价已经达到7年来的最高，同时，美元也升值，10年期的美国国债利率已经低到了一个最低的水平1.29%。But there's also an uneasy sense that the virus could trigger at a bigger rate in financial markets that has been going up by so much for so long that pockets of dangerous risk-taking are bound to exist. To worry at top mind, obscure evidence of financial instruments that was rely on a low volatility and a swollen credit market. 金融市场有2个值得担心，第一个是这个金融工具啊，都是他们一般它的假定前提都是这个市场的低波动率，同时呢，还有这个不断膨胀的信用市场。Start with the first volatility. Equity markets instability might feed on itself, the VIX, which measures the expected volatility implied by the price of the options on the S&P 500 index, varied from around 15 to about 27 in a matter of days. Some investors' strategies are particularly sensitive to it. For example, when volatility is low, they allow a bigger weight of equity in portfolios. But when it rises and stays high, some investors are forced to allow some of their holdings, creating yet more volatility. Some extra-traded fund whose value is linked to the VIX saw outflows. It's likely that at least some investors has been betting on continuous near-dormant volatility. The resistance of such strategy could be tested. 第一个就是说，由于这个恐慌，大家都看这个 VIX 的指数 ，VIX 指数越高的话，人们就越恐慌，这样会导致恶性循环，加大波动。A big worry is credit market and in particular corporate debt, which has soared over the past decade. A sharp rise in borrowing cost would hurt firms that need to roll over maturing bonds and would also rattle American huge private credit markets. The last big global growth scare in late 2018 caused a panicky sell-off that briefly threatened to become a credit crunch, so that the interest rate spread over treasuries demanded by investors to hold high-yield corporate paper has widened to 4.3 percentage points, which much of the impact felt by energy sector's bonds. This is cause for concern, not alarm. But new insurance has halted. By 2016, Wall Street has gone 3 days without any higher ground offering, according to Bloomberg. If this continued, there was a corporate liquidity squeeze. 到这个2月26日，华尔街一直都处于这个低的成交量，而且由这个信用市场呢，也是会受到公司的一些债务，他们的成本会飙升，这也会影响公司的利润。Interest rate cuts cannot do much to remedy the disruption, but it can help to smooth credit markets. Easier policy from the Federal Reserve has passed. Notably, in 1998, be fuel for a late-cycle rally in risk assets in the face of formidable headwinds. A fortnight ago, just a single interest rate cut from the Fed was priced in the market, says Kenny Rhodes of Social a French bank. Now, too, we may be pricing the third, if not fourth, within a few weeks, unless there is dramatic change in the Corona-19 news. 估计利率会第3次的下调。